Hi there, and welcome to Chief Spreadsheet. Let's learn how to calculate a sum in Excel today. In this business sales example, I have a list of products here in column B from A to E. They have their item price, in column C, their fees, and then their selling price. So what we want to do is we're going to want to add the item price and the item fees to get our selling price. So we're going to click into cell E4 and type the equal sign, because you always have to start a formula or an equation in Excel with the equal sign. Then we're going to type sum. And you can either double click when the sum function comes up from the menu, or you can just type the open parenthesis. Then it's going to be asking for a number 1, number 2, and then have a ... signifying we can click on as many numbers as we want in this function. It's just going to add all of the cells that we have selected. In this case, we can click on cells. So as you can see, as I'm clicking on cells, it's going to, if I move this number out of the way here so you can see. So as you can see, as I click on cells, it's going to change what it has typed in to my equation. So I have D7. If I click on C4, it's going to say C4. So you can either click on cells or you can just type them in. You can type in C4. Now if we click and drag, you can see how this equation changes. It has C4 colon C8. So that is a range. That signifies a range when you use a colon. And that is going to add all of the contents of C4 through C8. And you can see that signified by this dashed box that is selected around those cells within that range. But in this case, I just want C4 and D4. So what I can do is I can just click in C4 and drag over to D4. Then I'm going to close parenthesis, because Excel does not like when we don't have parentheses accounted for, and then hit enter. And that's going to give us our selling price. That's pretty awesome, right? Pretty easy. You can also do this by hitting the equal sign, and you can click on cell C4, or C5 in this case, and then hit the plus sign, and then click on D5. So that's going to add both the contents of cell C5 and D5 together. That'll also get us what we want. Usually the sum function is going to be a much better bet, and it's much quicker to use than just typing in plus and clicking on the cells that you want. The reason that using the sum function is so much better than just typing in equal sign and clicking on and adding all of the cells that you want is because it can get really tedious. So for example, if we have the sum function up here, we can just click and drag. We don't have to continually hit the plus sign and keep on clicking on all of those other cells that we want to add. We can just click and drag on whatever we want. Or we can use the control key and click on multiple cells. So that's another way that you can do this, is I can use the control key and click on whatever cells that I want. And as long as I have control clicked down, you can see it's in the sum equation, in the sum function, in this bar up here. We can see C6, D6, every cell that I clicked on is separated by a comma. And then we can just close parenthesis and click on enter, and it's going to sum all of the cells that I had clicked on there. So it's much quicker doing that and just clicking on the cells that you want, or clicking and dragging, or just typing out the range that you want within your sum function instead of just using the plus sign. But in this case, we're just going to go back to cell E4 and then use the autofill, which is in the bottom right corner of the cell that you have selected. Click and drag that down to copy all of our cells, of the formulas in our cells, to get our selling price for all of our rows and all of our products here. Now just one more quick example and kind of a recap. To get our sum of a profit per item, let's sum up all of the profit we have per item. So if we sold one of each item, let's see how much profit we would get. So again, we're going to go into cell C10 in this case, type the equal sign, type sum, and open parenthesis, and then it's going to ask for our numbers, and what we can do is we can type in I4 colon I8. And see, that box is going to show up wherever we type it. It's going to select our cells, and then we can hit close parenthesis and hit enter. And there we go. That is our sum. That is the sum of the profit we have per item. If we sold each item once, each product once, then we're going to get $174. Now again, we can do the same thing. Hit the equal sign, type in sum, open parenthesis, and then we can click and drag what cells we want. So we can just click on I4 to I8. It's going to show up in our equation. Then we can just close that parenthesis and hit enter. And there again is our sum. Hopefully this example helped you out. Make sure to like this video if it did, and to subscribe for more Excel tutorials, more spreadsheet templates in the future. I hope you all have a wonderful day.